I am back, people. This time I will not scream as much, so don't worry, you don't have to put down your volume. Unless something actually sets me off. Hopefully it will not. This is the second part of my little argument against harems, specifically in anime. I find them to be unrealistic in real life too. Those are values that we do not need to hold on to anymore. We are in better times. We don't need to have harems, We have too many people. So, yeah. Alright. So, upon reading the comments, many of you agree with me. Thank you for agreeing with me. It also shows, that my fans are not insane. So, I'm very happy to see that. But one of you, I'm first off, you're not subscribed to me, and I am kind of happy. I don't hate you as a person for what you said, but the shit you said was concerning, my guy. Or girl. There's mostly guys on this channel, so I'm gonna assume you're a guy. Bro, I'm not gonna put him on the screen. I'm not gonna try to act like this is some roasting session. I'm not going to. You know who you are. This man really said the reason why there are slaves so much is because they're trying to picture some medieval type stuff. The whole point of fantasy is that it can be whatever you want. Okay, if someone chooses to do that, they chose to. It's not because they're trying to adapt to any old type of stuff. No one ever said that isekai had to be about medieval times. No one. Fantasy, usually when it's made in isekai, is about RPGs. What RPG have you played that is so obsessed with slaves that all of Japan starts to just use that? I haven't. Not even I ain't never heard of that shit. No one is obsessed with having slaves in RPGs. And if you want to talk about stuff like that, you can go ahead. But I don't like that you tried to act like it was completely fine. And then you went on to ask me to name series where main characters got slaves for bad intentions because I wouldn't find any. Are you? Okay. First off, Shield Hero is already a perfect example. People might think, oh, their relationship is so good. In the beginning, now Fumi literally only wanted Raftalia. First off, at the light level, apparently, it's worse because he wants to ruin and, destroy her. He wants to use her as a way to take out his frustrations because Raftalia in the light novel reminded him of mine, aka the bitch. That is terrifying. She's a child. In the anime, it's better, but it's not like he's a hero. He takes her because he wants her to fight for him. That's still endangering someone's life, even if he's in a tough spot, which is completely fine. Don't try to act like people don't do things like that for bad reasons. Either it is about sex, it is always about sex, or it is about battle, because you need to survive. That does not make it better. What the fuck? Oh my god. Okay, I'm not gonna talk about that anymore. That is ridiculous, by the way. I don't care. What are you on about, bro? I can list a bunch of anime like that. Every single thing you see that has to do with slaves is always sexually, it has something about sex. Also, my last video got, badly demonetized, so I just turned off the monetization, because talking about this stuff, it's not gonna give me, good, look in front of YouTube, but, I gotta talk about this. The thing I read left me baffled, man. That's why I had to make another video. Alright, let's get into the main topic. I'm here to talk about specifically one issue. Well, I'm going to talk about a bunch of other issues. One issue that I'll start off with, though, is how men are treated in these harem slice of life type isekais. By the way, if you have a harem in another world, you are not having a slice of life, because having a harem means having issues, especially if they're anime girls. Let's have a little example. What anime character have you seen in a harem as a man that has not gotten his ass beat because women are mad at him for doing something that is completely normal, such as talking to their mom, or literally anyone who is a girl? I've seen it everywhere. It's almost abusive how they're treated. And yes, you can make the argument that maybe this is not that big of a deal because women go through the same thing. That's not a good argument. Just because women go through it a lot, by the way, does not mean that it's okay to just punish the men. But in hindsight, if they didn't want the issues, they never should have gotten a harem. The whole point of them getting one is because they always read light novels and manga. Then you should have known that once you get one, you are going to be faced with not only trauma, but a shit ton of injuries. They will not leave you alone. I don't get why they do this. I don't know why they use this as a plot point. If you want to make a story, make a story. There is no incentive for you to actually make it about a harem. No one cares about harems. You want to see the MC be OP. You want to see him do shit. You want to see him be badass. Or have the actual slice of life with no one bothering him. As soon as one woman is included in one of these things, everything goes belly up. Instantly. It can either be someone that the main character saved or someone that the main character takes as an apprentice or something. Instantly, they're caught into some trap that forces them to take in some women because they either beg them or they're acting insane and stalking them, which is played off for jokes. I have seen these ridiculous moments where someone legitimately, as a main character who was essentially a god, married someone because they were crying. What? No one does that. No one. I'm gonna set the scene for you. It was about the main character essentially has the power to use anything he touches becomes like an ultimate OP weapon. He chooses to stay on the countryside to just have, fun. He wants to make a farm. It starts off actually being pretty wholesome, except with the addition of, the usual batshit crazy stuff that women do to the main characters, such as, trying to kill them. He meets a mermaid that he accidentally hooked, which, by the way, that is a ridiculous way to start off a story. She becomes his wife, and then later on, despite them literally being lovey-dovey, even if it's played for jokes, he marries someone despite them essentially looking like a child because they were begging about shit and being sad. And he's just so nice that he takes her in. I am going to lose my mind. Anyway, yeah, I'm close to screaming. I'm close. This gets much, much worse down the line where there's apparently a demon lord in that world, right? Him and the demon lord become pretty close. He's like, hey, I'm going to help you with your stuff. He has a special lady he wants to woo. They end up being married under the literal guise of a god, their demon god. A celestial being makes their marriage a thing. And he specifically says, you cannot marry anyone else. You must be faithful. What happened chapters later? The nigga with the only option to have a single wife as a god has his wife say that they can somehow find a way to make the demon lord marry a second woman because she just loves him so much. This woman came out of nowhere. It was a ridiculous plot that made me lose my fucking mind. You not only broke the only rule that was meant for the whole pack, the marriage, you also just did it for no reason. This second woman came out of nowhere talking about like some weird ass shit, some love, fake ass shit. And she essentially bothers everyone and just gets in the way. She's like an intrusive little pest. The thing about this type of stuff isn't that it just makes me angry, it's that it literally ruins the whole story. There is a certain balance to be kept between characters and their dynamics. That breaks when you introduce something and then just kind of ruin the autonomy of it later on, like it never mattered. Don't make a whole pact with a god and then say it's super serious, only to ruin it later because some character out of nowhere is just introduced. When I tell you that I got pissed off seeing this woman that got intruded, like, not only does she act like she owns everything, she acts like she's owed to be married just because she likes him. They don't know each other that well. She is meant to protect him, and the demon lord on character, he's like a nice guy, extremely nice, even though you literally fight in wars. Like, bro, stop being a bitch. You are literally... The amount of times that I see men like refuse advancements from women in isekais is zero. I swear to God, it's zero. They can't. At some point they start, but at some point they're literally either tricked. There was actually, I'm gonna show y'all some. You're gonna be pissed off when you see this. You are going to be. If you're not, then you're not a person. Even a woman would be mad at this. All right. There is a certain series, the main character, he gets, reincarnated in another world. He has OP skills. He has a status board, whatever the fuck. You know how the usual and stuff. The way he meets his beloved to be in their world, Apparently, it's fine if you drug a guy, sleep with him, and then the next day you act like it's not, like you just committed sexual assault. She drugged someone she barely knows. The next day he wakes up. He is completely fine with it. I lost my mind. What I just told you is not only so wrong for anyone from the opposite gender to do, but so fucked up that a writer would just put that in there and turn that into a romantic story. They literally end up as a couple. It's honestly terrifying to me. It's not even funny. It's actually terrifying to me. Seeing things like that be normal in manga. No one even talked about this. It was just another one of those isekais that just went into the wind. I was honestly kind of terrified for the guy. But the guy is just made out to be, oh, this is how the world is, so it's not that weird, right? Nah. Not only are you a simp, but you're also extremely... You have your boundaries and your priorities wrong. What is wrong with you? The way that it portrays men in isekai is what I specifically don't like. We are not obsessed with, like, wanting a waifu. You can talk about, like, something like... If you have like a favorite K-pop band or some stuff, if you're like them creepy niggas that like go way too far, I mean, it is what it is. But anime fans, if we met an anime girl, we would be scared. You know why? These niggas can legitimately destroy planets and or level cities. We would not want. We would just admire them from afar, or have like a typical chat, or talk with the niggas that are just more chill. You know, like the background characters. If they have personalities. It's so toxic how they depict us. We just accept the abuse and the women just keep inflicting it. And if the reverse happens, it's even worse because the women are usually have no personalities. They're just blank slates who for some reason are obsessed with the main character that has no personality. Yeah. Let's talk about my second point real quick. Alright. Honestly, I was thinking of ending the video like right here. I tried to find the manga so I could show you some pictures, but honestly, I was disgusted by the very thought that someone had the audacity to actually make something like that. And she or he is probably still doing this. If a man is writing this shit, I have lost all hope in humanity. Wow. And the fact that they're Asian, bro, y'all, okay. I am not going to diss Japanese people. Okay, they gave me One Piece. They gave me Dragon Ball. I love Toriyama. I love Oda. Toriyama can stop hating on Vegeta, though. That's an issue. They are famously, like, horrible at dating. You know, there's a whole thing about, like, actually... You know the renting girlfriend anime thing? That's an actual thing in Japan. Like, for real. That terrifies me. That's a real issue that y'all need to face, but the creators are honestly depicting how they want things to be, or what they assume their readers just would love, and anyone who reads that, you gotta be one of the worst people alive. Alright? I just don't know how to react. I don't. You know what? I am gonna end this off here. Smash a like if you like the video. Yeah, I'm gonna go work on the Aokiji with it. Excuse me. Don't.